What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's full-time reaction to Celtic 6, Dundee 0. I've got Lee and Stuart here with me to go through it. Lee, I thought that was a rout tonight. Played really well. Would you make it?
I thought first half we plenty of the ball again, controlled it much like Sunday, just lacking that little bit of conviction. But second half was absolutely sublime. One-touch football. We were just talking before about the energy we brought in the second half. The pressing was great tonight as well, retrieving the ball. Yeah, it was a joy to watch the second half, and some of the goals were fantastic. Yeah.
We'll come to the second half in a minute. Some brilliant football, Stuart. Looking at the team line, I expected that Saturday would be Jota's first start back, but we were just talking about it before we come on there. The place is just better with Jota in it. He just lights it up, and even some of those touches first half, receiving the ball, back heels, it's just Celtic needs a player like that.
Absolutely. With Kyogo going, you need to fill the void of joy. Jota's doing that, man. And, you know, he brings something different. All the wingers we've got, even Nicholas Kuhn, amazing goal tonight. For all his skill, he doesn't have that wee ability to just give the shimmy. Jota's giving it a wee bit of that with the hips. I'm not going to enjoy watching that, but Jota's just got that wee bit. And yeah, I think he sprinkled a lot of flair in it tonight, but see, once he gets that sharpness and just the burst off the mark back, he's going to be dynamite. And it's to do with angles as well. For the cross that he delivers for the goal, it's just an angle that we wouldn't have had, I don't think, if he wasn't back in the team.
I thought he was really good tonight, Jota. Lee, we get the goal just before half-time. Again, good to get the second one just to give us that cushion, because it kind of petered out towards the end of that first half. Ida again on the score sheet. Good for him to keep up his goal-scoring run, innit?
Yeah, he was in the right place, the right time. He had some great. I was watching him quite closely. He had some great runs off the ball, much like Kyogo when he was here. But I thought the midfield too, Hatate and Engels dominated play, and yeah, it was good finish in the end. And I thought Jota was going to get another little goal in there, but he was in the right place and he swept it in. Obviously, we had the penalty before, which everyone was kind of doubtful if it was it or not. And I was interested to see who was going to take the penalty. I thought Ida might have went in. Well, he's on a goal scoring streak now, but yeah, to get him with that second goal just gave us that cushion, and obviously the second half took care of itself.
It did, Stuart. 4 goals in the second half. I thought, Kuhn's is obviously brilliant as well, but those 2 Maeda goals, it's brilliant wing play for Jota to cut inside, and the cross is inch perfect. Having said that, it's no easy because Daizen still needs to time the diving header. And then I thought the second goal was incredible because Jota and Hatate and I think Taylor were involved in playing it out deep in our defensive third, right at the corner. And then we come out the other side. Engels plays a lovely ball into the channel, similar to the one he played for Daizen at the weekend, actually, in the build-up to Jota's goal. Gets a wee nick off the defender. And dare I say it was Larsson-esque, the finish for Daizen on it.
Wow, that's bold. That is bold, Paul. I would say that Daizen Maeda, everyone always talks about his application, and don't get me wrong, his touch can be askew sometimes. His finishing can be, well, just not the best. But that was, in terms of a deliberate finish, and I'm going to maintain, right, the one against Club Bruges, he slips. That's how he's able to wrap it round. That was an amazing finish, and it was entirely deliberate. And I don't know, I think Kyogo was obviously a player that fitted Angie's system. I don't think he fully fitted the picture under Brendan, but sometimes, and I don't want to let the board off about the recruitment, but it can be addition by subtraction. And by taking Kyogo away, it's allowing other players to flourish potentially. And not just Arne Engels. I think we've got 3 very exciting wide players, and I think it could get very interesting in terms of how you maybe fit them into the team. Maybe you try and look at ways that you can play those 3 together if Ida comes off the boil or something like that. So I think Celtic have got a few options now, and it's really exciting to try and contemplate what could happen.
Absolutely. Lee, we mentioned Engels earlier. I thought he'd done another good game tonight. Would you make him and made his form recently?
Yeah, he's on a roll. I think he needs to stay in the team now. A bit of consistency with that. Him and Rio linking up well, and just some of his sharpness of passing, getting the ball out of his feet. He's really a player that can move that ball like Rio does really quickly. Some people need to take a touch and then get it away. He can do it all in one movement. You've seen that by his goal, little touch to the right and then swept it in, a little deflection. But some of the play, we touched on Daizen's goal before, but where it started from in the corner and the one-touch football to get out, that was what was good about tonight in the second half. It wasn't taking extra touches, it was all moving quickly, and the press tonight, I thought, even from the first half, the way they hunted in packs to get the ball back. Dundee never really got a chance to get a foot on the ball, but yeah, Engels, I think now we need to see a run of games from him, because I thought a big goal was coming from him. Might have been it tonight, but let's hope he's big goals next week against Bayern, maybe.
Aye, I was just thinking, is that his first goal from open play?
Open play,
tonight?
I think so, yeah.
It is, isn't it? Stuart, one of the luxuries of starting Jota and having Maeda on the other side, either through the middle, was that Kuhn, one, got a rest, but then we've got him to come off the bench, and I think probably the one attribute he's got over Jota is that pace. But he scores a brilliant goal himself tonight, again cutting in his stronger left foot and just finds the top corner.
Imagine you're Trevor Carson and he's back 5 and you're having a bit of a nightmare. 4 or 5 goals down. 4, I think, when Kuhn came on. And you've got him coming off the bench. It's quite intimidating. And I think he is a player that Patrick Roberts in Brendan Rodgers' first spell, like operating in similar areas, cutting in for the right. It's like Patrick Roberts on turbo mode. He's a better player. He's more intelligent. He's got more craft. And actually, my favourite thing that he did wasn't actually the goal. He played like a beautiful lofted pass. I can't remember if it was Daizen or maybe Johnson in the run, but it was just like one of the wee pitching wedge passes, you know, just perfectly lofted, but still in behind the defence, but no using pace, just using that craft. And he's such a lovely player, and a player that I really, really think relishes playing in Brendan Rodgers' system. And I think that's a key component for any players, is do they fit what we are trying to do? And what you're saying about tempo, man, like absolutely that is the difference. First half, bit tepid. At times I thought in our own half we were hesitant. Second half it's just on it, and it's a joy to watch.
Aye, absolutely. Lee, there was a point in this season where it looked like Nicholas Kuhn was going to run away with the Player of the Year award. Daizen's right there with him, isn't he? I mean, I think he's having an incredible season, and again, he's brilliant technically tonight. He scores 2 brilliant goals, but I think it's like 92 minutes in the clock. It's 6-0 up, and he's charging down the centre half. It's way beyond. We talk about work rate and desire being like the minimum, the bare minimum expectations that you have. He goes way beyond that. It's incredible.
The guy's well on his way to being a Celtic icon, a legend, a cult figure, whatever you want to call it. But special mention to him tonight because he's put on the right hand side. I thought first half took a while to get used to that role, but he worked it out so well, and he was more playing in a striker role at points with the balls coming around the back, and he was able to get on them. But the guy's just phenomenal. I mean, I get tired just watching him up and down that side on the right. But he adjusted well. He never moans. You never see him coming out in the press or anything like that. He just gets down like Hatate and that do as well. You never really hear from these boys. But yeah, he's just a big player for Celtic, and it's going to be a shame that we're not going to have him next week for that first leg. But hopefully we've got something to hold on to. Going over to Bayern, he could be pivotal.
Yeah, absolutely, a huge player for us. Stuart, you want to make a wee point about the front three, maybe, if we can get Daizen in there and Kuhn and Jota?
I just think if we're going to maybe see something like akin to Celtic playing a false 9, which is going to allow, obviously, that kind of role where the main focal point of the front three drops deeper, then it just maybe unlocks a bit more space for the wingers by dragging the defenders. I'm really interested to see how that could work. The other tactical thing that I would maybe be watching is, will Celtic look to play, because Bernardo came on and he was really good in the Callum McGregor role, looked comfortable, which was important. Now, whether he looks comfortable in Europe would be different, but I'm really interested to see if Celtic would contemplate maybe just changing the shape of that central midfield. And if you did that, then I'm not saying that they're going to go to playing a false 9 in a game of that magnitude, but there are options now, and I think we're less hamstrung tactically, and I'm quite interested to see what Rodgers, who's a gifted tactician, can do with that.
He always talks about the striker playing the space. He did it again yesterday, talking about how he likes a striker to play if the space is in front, move in there, and it gives the space for the wide players. So I think Maeda, as he said yesterday, is really adept at that. Lee, before we come to man of the match, we did see a Celtic debut for Jeffrey Schlupp off the bench. So only just met his teammates yesterday, I suppose, but maybe a wee bit of rustiness, having not played so much.
Yeah. I mean, some nice touches. He got himself forward as well. Couple of nice crosses, a couple of misplaced passes, a bit of a wild couple of minutes for him. But I think he'll be an asset. I think the fact that he can play all up that left hand side, plus he can come inside and play midfield. He's not played 250, 300 games in the Premiership at good level. He's going to be an asset for us.
Yeah. Stuart, man of the match tonight. Few candidates.
This is a tough one.
Oh, that's a tough one tonight. I mean, heart says just because he's back and we love him, Jota. But I think the right call was made in the stadium. I think Daizen Maeda was man of the match tonight.
Yeah, Lee, man of the match.
This has probably been the toughest one I've had since I've been speaking on the channel. We've all tend to agree, but I thought Engels tonight was absolutely superb, and I'm really happy for him. I want to see him get a run of games, but I think I should have given it to Maeda on Sunday, I thought, but I'm going to give it to him tonight because playing on the right, getting his goals, helping the team, like you said, chasing back in the 90th minute. Yeah, Maeda for me tonight.
It's Maeda for me as well. I think we maybe gave him some tough justice not giving him it at the weekend. There's a few comments on that note, but it's Daizen for me as well. That's it. It's a full house for Maeda. Like the video, give us your own thoughts on tonight's game below, and I'll see you for the build up to Wraith Rovers at the weekend. Cheers.